Today is a pretty rockin' day, I'm not gonna lie. I have been one of a few early people to actually get behind the wheel of Faraday Future's FF91. I just got out, so let's hop back in and see what I liked about it. Now there are days when I consider myself lucky, and then there's days like today where I am the fourth person to ever drive an FF91, which is kind of a cool thing. And while this is very much still a development vehicle and things are being fine-tuned for production, I can offer you a few salient insights. We'll start with the powertrain, for example. Right now, this car is operating in about 500 horsepower. In its reduced mode, you don't get the full 1,090 horsepower. But in all honesty, I'm stuck on 35-mile-an-hour roads, so there is more than enough power here even in its limited mode. It still gets going in a hurry, and because it's electric, it's nice and smooth. Now, in addition to the powertrain, I can talk a little about the suspension too. But again, there's a lot of development going on. It's currently on adaptive dampers for the time being, although air is planned for production. But even on these adaptive dampers, this car is mighty smooth and surprisingly flat in the U-turns and limited left turns that I've been privy to. For the most part, this car is pretty well dialed in, and I am looking forward to production. Since one of the guarantees of CES is that you will inevitably become stuck in traffic, which I am, that gives me plenty of opportunity to talk about the FF91's interior. I am a huge fan of the space utilization in this thing. Not only is the car big, the interior really makes you feel that space, and it's a pretty luxurious place to be. The seats, good deal of recline in the back, the leather feels great. As a matter of fact, just about every single touch point in this car feels pretty well worth the six-figure price tag. It is not a design I've seen in any other car. I think a lot of that is owed to the unique shape of the vehicle itself. It allows for a lot more kind of flowing in the dashboard and on the arm panels and everything. It's really kind of a cool, futuristic look that matches the rest of the aesthetics. One thing you'll notice about the FF91, aside from the fact that the interior looks like nothing else, is that it's covered in screens. Screens to the left, screens to the right, stuck in the middle with screens. Now each one has its own kind of separate delineated duty, which is nice. Over here on the left you get HVAC, front ahead you get your information like your range and your speed, especially with the HUD in front. Right here on this vertical screen you get your usual infotainment duties, your maps, your climate control, your door settings and things like that. What's unique is the screen behind it, which I actually can't see but the passenger can. Currently it's running YouTube. Yes, YouTube. So that way whoever's in the car doesn't get bored on a long trip and bored of talking to you or whatever. They can just, sit, watch some YouTube. So what have I learned from my last hour of seat time with the Faraday Future FF91? Well, I can tell you with absolute assurance that it is, in fact, a car. It goes forwards, it goes backwards, and it turns, and it does U-turns. There's screens, there's mirrors, there's places for me to put my arms. It's a capital C car. But the point I'm trying to make here is that the future of the FF91 does not hinge on whether or not it is a car. It is, and it's quite good. Faraday Future has made its way into the headlines most of the time for its not-so-hot financial health. But now with a new CEO at the helm who's determined to make the right moves and get things done right, all we can do is wait with bated breath for the company to function as well as the car does. Like all the videos I am chained at the hip to do, I am contractually obligated to remind you to like, subscribe, favorite, notification, whatever the heck you have to do on YouTube to get me to stop doing these.